Hey, we're the leaf cutters, here to lend a hand for novice cigar smokers with tips so grand. Not pros, but we'll guide you right in our Porch Cigar Lounge, light up the night. Reach out, chat along, smoke with us where you belong. So grab a cigar, come on and stay. In our back porch lounge, we'll show you the way. The leaf cutters, together we'll ignite. With tips and tricks, we'll light up your night.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Back Porch Lounge. We are the Leaf Cutters, and we are not professionals, but we are here to help. And today we have Hector Alfonso from Espinosa Cigars. He is the master blender for Espinosa. I think he's considered the director of operations, or we're just going to call him the master blender because we haven't had a master blender on this show, and we're excited about it. And we're definitely going to.
Sounds awesome.
It does. It sounds. That's an awesome title to have, and it's an awesome title to what he does is awesome. So if you want to say hi, Hector.
Hi, Hector. Oh,
hello. I am a professional, and I'm not here to help. So,
yay!
It's great to be on this show with all the other masturbators. I mean, with all the other gentlemen here. And
how did he know?
I could tell. I could tell. It's the eyes. It's in the eyes.
It's in the eyes. Okay.
The face looks normal, but the eyes are helter skelter. Always the eyes.
Always.
Especially Grimm. Grimm came in already. He had just rubbed one out before he got on.
I keep calm this way. I
That's awesome.
Bet you won't get Fuente. I bet you Carlito Fuente wouldn't say that. All right. So what's up, guys? Glad to be on.
Probably not.
No. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
That's great. It's wonderful to have you, and like I said, we appreciate you being on. Today, we have a variety of actually Espinosa cigars that we're going to smoke. I'll start mine off with I'm doing the Knuckle Sandwich, Connecticut.
Very nice. I'm very proud of that cigar.
It smells great. I've heard nothing but good things about it, so I'm excited. This is the first time I've had one, so I'm definitely excited about it. How about you, Andy?
I too am having a Knuckle Sandwich because they were damn near hard to find in town, so I went with what I could get. So I got me a Knuckle Sandwich, and it's the one with the little black ribbon at the bottom, which I'm assuming is
Habano. You got the Habano.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. How about you, Grimm?
I'm not smoking an Espinosa cigar because I could not track down one in the Newton area. So I have an Arturo Fuente, if that counts towards anything.
Hector says no. He says go get.
Hector says no.
Hector says no. I'm off the podcast.
Nice meeting you, Grimm. Thanks a lot for coming on.
Good meeting you too, sir.
All right. How about you, Robert?
All right. What we'll do is whenever Grimm asks a question, I'll answer him like Carlos Fuente. I'll answer him like Carlito.
Okay. Yes. Let's do that.
That'll be awesome.
Yes.
Cool.
You didn't know I do. I don't got my own material, so no problem. We're good. Go ahead, sir.
Hey, Robert. What do you got, man?
I have the Espinosa Habano Toro.
Very nice.
Very excited for this one.
Very fancy.
Yep. And Zach, what you got, man?
I've got the Knuckle Sandwich Habano. I like Andy's got.
Oh, so y'all both got the same one.
Yeah.
Habanos for
And
everybody.
for once, we didn't shop at the same shop.
It was funny.
Yeah, I shopped in Oak Ridge.
Well, it's funny. I had the same problem as Grimm. I couldn't find it locally, at least at the shops that I went to. But there was one shop I didn't try, and that's where I told Grimm to go, but they didn't have them either. But I was actually in Blue Ridge and picked mine up in Blue Ridge. So it's just odd that, we've already established in previous podcasts, the Noonan area for some reason does not get good things. They're not allowed to have good things.
How many shops do you have in your area?
in my area, honestly, within a 5-mile radius, there's 5 shops.
And Espinosa is not in any of those shops?
Espinosa is not there. I don't know why the presence isn't there. In the past now, at the Southern Cigar, they have carried Espinosa in the past, but for some reason they don't have them right now. I don't know. It's just
I
so
will be
popular
talking
they're
as soon as
sold out.
we're done here. I'll be reaching out to my rep in the South to see what's going on.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that because
Listen.
We
like
actually have another location called Thick Ash Cigars that's also in Union that he's actually interested in. Like, he hasn't carried them before, but he really wants to carry your line. So if we can get him in touch with somebody, that'd be cool.
I definitely will.
All right, and we can get you his info offline.
Okay.
So normally when we start up, we usually ask Robert if he has a question. So Robert, do you have a question today?
I kind of do. As a master blender, how do you choose what you're going to blend to come up with?
Uh,
Well, cigar.
I can answer that. Let me answer that in 2 different ways. It depends. At the beginning, when I first started with the company is going to be 13 years old in February. When we first started, we didn't have a huge portfolio, so we went in, just trying to create things. We need to do a Habano. We need to do a Maduro. We need to do another Maduro. We should do something with Mexican. We should do something with a dark Habano. You're trying to fulfill, you're trying to fill your portfolio up with different, with different lines and different brands. But in this stage of the game, where we're at now, whenever something is blended or something is made, it's because we have decided, we need a particular type of cigar. Like what's really helped us in the last 3 years is, the Guy Fieri line. Guy Fieri came in, we started working with Guy Fieri, and we helped create that portfolio from the beginning. There was nothing. And, like all good companies, we started with the Habano and we started with a Maduro. And then, over the next 3 years now, it's been, we added a Connecticut a year ago. We added some LEs, and anything that we've done with Guy has been very, very successful. I mean, and not to boast or anything, but I think that it is right now the most successful celebrity collaboration ever when it comes to cigars. Not just because the cigars are good, because I truly, honestly, and sincerely believe that this cigar could stand on its own. But you have a celebrity, a guy with such an incredible presence in the mainstream, and he is smoking cigars, and he's wearing the shirts on his show. And, he's going to the NBA All-Star game with a cigar in his mouth. He's going to the trade show. He came to Lazona Palooza, which is an event we do. He's done events at stores. He is involved. He is committed to the success of this brand. And that's really has been what's key in the success of that brand, and how the union and the collaboration between Espinosa and Knuckle Sandwich has really progressed. So to answer Robert's question on the second part, since he is a new company and, he is just getting his footprint out there, yes, we want to be able to say that we can cover every single flavor of the rainbow. You want something super strong? We have it. You want something mild? We have that. You want something spicy? We have that. You want something full with no spice? We have that. So when I am tasked with coming up with something, we kind of know where we're going. Well, what are we looking for? We're looking for an LE. Well, LE is easy. That's the funnest part, because you're looking usually for something that's one time, going to be one and done. Maybe you can experiment with some new wrapper you've never used, or tobacco from a region you've never used, and you approach it that way. So it's still, even after 13 years, we're still excited about releasing new cigars. This year, Espinosa released a Sumatra in January, which is pretty ballsy to release a cigar with a thin wrapper like that Sumatra in the dead of winter, where there could be some problems with people trying to smoke it and it's cracking. But I think cigar smokers are educated enough and smart enough to realize the problem that the weather, the havoc that the weather can wreak on cigars, especially if you live in the north or anywhere north of the Mason-Dixon line, where it's freezing until somewhere in the middle of March.
Yeah.
So did that answer your question more or less, Robert?
Yes, sir. Very much so. Thank you.
And going back to what you're saying with Guy Fieri, he's one of the few celebrities that, I mean, he was hands on from the beginning, right? He was in there
from the
making sure
jump.
that he got the taste that he wanted, working with you, making sure.
Listen, Guy Fieri knows who I am. We're not, we're not pals. We don't text each other. He knows who I am, and I know who he is, and his relationship is with the boss and with the national sales manager and the boss's son, Eric, who runs our marketing department. They have a much more established relationship because they've got, as we say in Spanish, roce. They have a lot of things in common. They kind of enjoy each other's company. They're the ones who hold his events when Guy does events. I usually don't do that. That's not really in my wheelhouse. He knows who I am because from the beginning, when we got together for our very first meeting, while him and Eric are getting to know each other, I'm just plying him with cigars. I'm putting a cigar in his mouth and I'm having it light it, having him smoke it. And, he's talking to Eric about whatever they're talking about, the celebrities that they have in common, restaurants that they've eaten. And how do you like that? What do you like about that? What don't you like that? And from these cigars that I kind of plied him with during the 3 or 4 hours that we were together that first time, I got a good baseline of where he wants to be with his cigar. So we wanted to make him a cigar that was a Habano, a lighter Habano, which is spice. It had a nice high spice note, which we did with the Habano. And I wanted to make him a Maduro that wasn't a Habano. It wasn't Mexican. It wasn't broadleaf. It was a dark Sumatra that had the same, the same level of strength, but the spice not quite as strong because the wrapper has so much influence in that cigar. So that's where we started with that. And then from there, we did a limited, one limited here, another limited there, his birthday cigar, which has been a monster. I mean, we learned with Guy, once Guy joined the fold, we learned immediately that we were no longer that cigar company that can put out a 500 boxes of anything, because all that does is create bigger problems for you down the road. Because now, sure, absolutely. If I've got 500 retailers or 400 good retailers who support us, maybe not all at the same level, but they all support us. I want to give, I want Zach to get 10 for his shop, and I want Robert to get 5, and Andy can probably move 3, and Grimm, since he's smoking Fuente, isn't getting any, and Gibbs is going to get 5. So now, if you start doing that math, when Grimm calls me to say, "Hey, I didn't get any of the birthday cigar," I said, "I didn't make enough boxes. Plus, I remember you were smoking a Fuente when I was on the podcast." But
and that's going to be fair. I'll be okay with that.
He'll allow that. I'll allow that. But my point is that now we have these 500 boxes and 400 great accounts, or whatever the number of accounts, I think upward of 400. And somebody's going to feel shortchanged. Somebody's going to feel shorted, especially the guy who's really supported you. And when it comes to this brand, there are people who have been on board. Anybody who was on board with this brand from the beginning deserves that kind of support from us, because this was the first time in the short history of our company, 10, 12 years of time, where we had never done pre-orders. People were calling us, ordering 10 boxes of this, 10 boxes of that.
Whoa.
Sight unseen, cigar unsampled.
Yeah.
Nobody had tried.
wow.
It could have been
That's
a
nuts.
dog shit fucking dog rocket. But people were all up in it, and it just grew. The success was just, it's been great, and it's helped our core lines. It's helped our brand recognition. It's kind of put us at a different level among the what I like to call the larger boutiques. We've become synonymous with success. I mean, which is good. I mean, it's a good thing to have.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
So, we are going to review these cigars for you while you're on the show. And just to go around to start it off, my first light up. That is a really unique and delicious startup for Connecticut, and it's not it's not a traditional Connecticut for me. Is like it's not light. It's definitely got
it's not your grandfather's Connecticut. It's not your grandpa or your dad's Connecticut, because palates have changed, smokers have changed.
Mm-hmm.
And when I told you at the very beginning that I was proud of that cigar, the reason I said I'm proud of this, I'm proud of all of them, but I'm really proud of that one and Crema, which is our Connecticut that we do on the Espinosa side, because I don't smoke Connecticut wrap cigars. I don't. I'm smoking a Habano now. You look through my personal humidor, and I have some of those. Yeah. But outside of that, and I'm talking not just cigars that I make for Espinosa that we make, the cigars that I smoke from other manufacturers, because I don't know how many guys you've had on here who will tell you they smoke other people's stuff. I love smoking other people's stuff. Yeah, I absolutely enjoy smoking other people's stuff because they're on top of the fact that most of them are my friends. I like to know what direction, what direction the palette is going in the industry. So I love smoking other people's stuff. So to make a Connecticut that everybody loves, I remember when I brought the first Connecticut's back, Eric's like, well, is it good? I said, bro, I don't know. You're asking the wrong guy. you may be asking the wrong guy. I mean, but it's worked out. So I'm glad you like it. I'm really happy with that Connecticut. I really am.
Yeah, and it to me, it's more of a medium body cigar. It's not
yes.
light in at all. But
it's not spicy. I don't consider that cigar spicy compared to the Habano that Zach and I think Andy are smoking, or even the one Robert's smoking, and definitely not the one Grimm is smoking. So
This is going to be awesome.
Grimm is thinking, I could have just not got on today.
I almost called out. I was like, they don't need me. I don't even have the right cigar. It'd be fine. But I was like, no, man.
Nah, bro. Listen. We're going to have a good time. We're going to spend 3 or 4 hours having a good time here. Okay. Nice. So,
I mean,
at your expense, but still, we're going to have a good time.
Nice. I'm all right with it.
So that's one of those things where you kind of self-laud yourself and you went, oh, that's pretty good.
I agree with it. It's a really good tasting cigar. So far I'm pleased. Andy, how about you, buddy?
Man, not right after I just took it wrong. Sorry.
Timing's everything.
No, you're talking about timing is everything, and every time. Gibbs has got it down to a point where he's going to try and make you laugh, and you're taking that nice long
when you're inhaling, yep.
So that you get it all in your lungs instead of in your mouth. You're gonna. Yeah. Talk about that spice. I found it right there at the light up.
Yeah, the Habano it's a spicy nugget. It really is.
But it's really good. It's not completely overpowering for me.
No.
There's spice that I like, and it's
there's a lot of body
I'm
to
glad
that
I bought
cigar
two
as
of
well. It's not just the spice bomb. It's got some flavor to it. You guys all retrohale, correct? Mm-hmm. You guys, so you're when I run across a guy who doesn't retrohale, it's hard to elaborate on the taste notes that I get because I retrohale, and every once in a while I'll try to show somebody how to retrohale, but you don't want to be the guy that watches him throw up all over you. So you just gotta you gotta play that cool.
Yeah.
I always say when you get home, you should try retrohale.
Try this. Yeah.
Try it later.
Not quite right now. I saw you had 2 pork sandwiches a minute ago, so I don't want to see that come back up. I don't want to see that brisket on the way back up. So when you're by yourself, you might want to try this. So I'm glad you like it, Andy.
Yeah, I ended up buying all they had in the shop was the Corona Gorda, so it's the short one. So I bought 2 of them just so I'd have enough.
Oh, that's a powerful little smoke. That really is.
All right.
It is a powerful little smoke.
That's awesome.
I got the tour.
Grimm, should we ask you how your cigar is?
Well, he is smoking the Fuente. I don't know which Fuente he is smoking, but it's very good, obviously, because
it just
I am
said
Carlos
Fuente
Fuente.
on the wrapper. It didn't even have a band on it. So,
are you smoking a curly head? You're not smoking a curly head, are you?
No, I don't think so.
Huh.
How's my cigar?
I am so happy.
It's rough. It's very rough.
That is what happens, my friend. My friend Grimm, you should have smoked the Espinosa. I don't know why you want to smoke the Fuente. I don't know why you do that. I wish I had hold on. Oh, I don't have the. Well, you know.
Take it off.
You got the hat. Yeah.
Do you like the shirt? The shirt is buttoned and the cuffs. I don't have the cuffs today. I kid because I love. Because let me tell you something. It's this industry. We wouldn't be where we are today. None of the manufacturers would be if it weren't for the guys who we kid on and we make fun of because they've been successful and laid the groundwork for the rest of us, like Rocky and the Padrones and Fuente and the Generals of the world and the Alphas. We make fun of them and we're friends with so many of them. But if we don't rag on them, then what the fuck? Why play? We gotta rag on them a little bit. You know what I mean?
Right?
Yeah. So, Robert, how about you, man?
Well, Hector, I'm the newest person, so I'm still developing a taste palette, as it were, and I'm getting I'm getting a lot more pepper tasting than I normally would, and I actually like that. So I like this. It's burning nicely.
All right, just so you know, you're smoking. That was so Andy is smoking the cigar that was in the Cigar Aficionado Top 25 2 years ago. You're smoking one that was in the Top 25 about 5 years ago, right? I think right before COVID. So that's, for us, it's our most signature Cuban-esque kind of cigar. Even though it's made in Nicaragua, and it's a little more peppery than than Cuban tobacco. It doesn't have the same footprint, the same DNA, but it's Eric's favorite cigar. He loves that cigar. Me, you could take all the Habano wrapper cigars in the world and dump them into the ocean. As far as I'm concerned, I'm so fucking tired of Habano. It just makes me sick. I want to smoke broadleaf, and I want to smoke Sumatra and Cameroon and Mexican and everything else. But listen, I know Habanos are very popular. It's it's the second largest amount of wrapper smoked next to Connecticut. So for our Habano, when you compare the one you're smoking to the one Andy's smoking, your Habano, Robert, is a little spicier than the one Andy's smoking, only because it's not as complex as the one Andy's smoking. Andy's smoking it in a small vitola, which is really compact, little power bomb. You're smoking are you smoking the box press Toro or the round Toro?
Looks like the box press.
Okay, that one's a little bigger. It's a little, it's a little more forgiving, but it's not as complex as the one that we did for Knuckle Sandwich. It's a little more in your face, but it will tone down halfway through it. You'll start to notice a little tone down, and you'll be fine.
Very cool.
That's awesome. And Zach.
I'm digging the cigars. I love peppery, spicy cigars, and it's the right balance for me. It's not over the top. I definitely want to keep smoking it, and this is my first Espinosa cigar. And
really, it's your first one? Okay.
Yeah. And I don't know if that's just because the cigar shops I was at, it wasn't the one I picked up, or what, but I'm on board. I'm a fan.
No, I'm good. All right, so let me ask you guys. I'm going to turn the tables on you. If it's okay with you, Gibbs, if I can turn the tables.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Have at it.
What do you smoke? I mean, I know you're smoking Espinosa today, and that's fine. But what are your top, your island 5 is what I like to call them. Listen, you're going to be on a tropical island for a month. You can only take 5 boxes of cigars. What are the 5 boxes of cigars you're taking? And they all can't be the same. They have to be 5 different brands.
Darn it.
Damn. That's a
I have this conversation every shop I go to.
Do you?
Because
Okay.
I want the people at the shop to realize that whatever you smoke is fine with me. It just the important thing is that you smoke and that you support the business. That's what it's about. All right. So while Gibbs is, let me ask the guy who's not smoking ours. Hey, Grimm. when you're done with that cigar, what else are you going to go in there and grab that's not mine? What are your?
I think I have a Mark Twain and a RoMa.
See, I love RoMa. I am a huge fan of RoMa. I am a big fan of theirs.
We're RoMa fans.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Skip, and Rosales. I'm very friendly with Mike, but I'm a little closer to Skip because we kind of are in the same, kind of in the same wheelhouse in this. We're the guys who worked on the cigars and kind of established the taste profile.
It's funny you say that because Skip's one of those guys that actually said he's a consumer first, just like you. He
Absolutely.
He smokes everybody else's stuff, before he smokes his.
We're very politics aside.
Yep.
We're very similar guys. I'm a little bit more conservative than he is. I'm Army, he's Navy. But when it comes to our cigars, we're very much. I think that we're simpatico in that sense. I'm a huge fan of his work, and personally, he's a good friend of mine, and I enjoy
awesome.
spending time with him. And whenever I'm in Nicaragua, there's not a friendlier. You'd be hard pressed to find a guy who is as friendly and as inviting as a host as he is. Come by the house, dinner, and it's good to have guys like that.
That's awesome.
Hold on, I think Zach's getting a call from the front line.
Yeah, the dog's coming back out.
Here she goes.
Nice. You're the only guy I know whose family has a dispatcher. That's pretty cool. Can I show a unit by the front gate? Yeah, go ahead. All right. So far, Grimm is taking a box of RoMa to the island. What else are you taking? I guess you're not taking that Fuente with you, right?
I'm taking a Fuente, but I'd probably take something, like fancy or whatever, like the Opus X,
But I asked, do you smoke that regularly? I mean,
No,
that's
because I
cigars
can't
you
get them.
smoke.
Like, I think I've had 3 in my lifetime. That's,
All right. So let's talk about the cigars you can get. The cigars you can get. There is no
Diesel
wrong
Whiskey
answer.
Rose.
Oh, so have you ever had Justin Andrews on your show?
Not yet.
You should
But
have.
it's on the list now.
He's the guy who developed Whiskey Row. Justin,
Yeah, let me
really,
pull
he's a North Carolina guy, really sharp guy, really smart guy, and I think you guys would enjoy having him on. He's just a good old boy too, Hey man, he talks to. Hey man, how you doing? He's a good guy.
Like he's from
All right,
North Carolina.
He's from North Carolina, yeah, but he's a good guy. He's a really good guy. So you have so far Grimm has got RoMa and he's got Whiskey Row. You need 3 more, buddy. You think somewhere along here he stopped somewhere and get
Superflies.
The which one?
Oscar Superflies.
Okay, you like the Valladar stuff. All right, that's 3.
Yeah.
It's funny because you know how you think about cigars all the time. Maybe not like you do about cars or women or your sports team, but now when somebody asks you a question like that, it kind of really puts you on the spot.
Yeah,
you're
because
like,
I'm like,
you know?
what do I really
I'm-
want to take to an island like that? Like, I'm
Struggling to narrow down.
Yeah. Probably.
All right, let me help you out. How about Tatuaje? How about Blackworks? How about Cote de
the
Oliva,
like
Padron, the G series, okay.
And then
Rocky
obviously
Patel.
Espinosa would be my 5th one. I don't,
Patel.
There you go.
Did you say
Wait.
Rocky Patel gives?
I
Rocky
said no to Rocky
Listen.
Patel. Hell no to Rocky Patel. Sorry.
Remember what I told you guys 5 minutes ago. Somebody's smoking. Somebody like
Well, absolutely, yeah.
They're selling 25 million cigars a year. People like it.
People like it.
People like it. I mean, same for Gurkha and same for Alec Bradley and Perdomo. People rag on them, and I say, hey, listen, Alec Bradley was selling 10 million cigars a year. So somebody
yeah.
out there is digging them.
Well,
Somebody's
but
doing something right.
our stance on this stuff is like, you like what you like.
Right.
You smoke what you smoke, and yes, I give crap to Rocky Patel because I'm not a fan, and I give crap to Gurkha because I'm not a fan. But that's just me. I will
Right.
tell you,
Just
smoke what you like.
never yuck somebody's yum. I mean, that's
Exactly.
in that sense, because they do sell it. Bro, let me tell you something. If you've never been to the trade show, but you go to the trade show and you look at Rocky's booth and the traffic that they have at the booth, and you're like,
I'm sure.
wow. Do you know how many cigars were imported into the United States last year? Just throw out a number.
30 million.
Last year. How many?
I said 30 million.
Just
I was gonna go throwing a number out. Let's
Yeah.
go with over $1 billion.
No, that's too much. That's too much.
Is it? Okay.
That's too much, yeah.
Well, I'm thinking. Well, are we talking about just Rocky, or are we just talking?
No.
are we
We're
cigars
talking
in
all
general?
cigars, all premium cigars imported into this country last year.
I'm trying to think of the amount of lines and who's boutique versus who's mainstream. And yeah, I still say 30 million.
Okay, how about you, Zach? What do you think?
Maybe 100 million.
What about you, Robert?
Robert's
Got
on
me,
mute.
buddy.
You're fixed.
52 million.
50, I feel like we're on the Rice is Right. He looked to see what everybody else bid and goes, 52 million.
$1, Bob.
$1, Bob.
What about you, Grimm? What do you think?
I want to say 200 million.
470 million cigars were imported last year in the United States.
Way
So-
off.
All right.
I think
Still-
I was.
I still got it right, but I went over.
Right,
No, you went over. You can't win the showcase
So
showdown, Andy. You
Grim
went
won
over.
it.
Damn.
Yeah,
Grim won.
yeah.
You get an
52
Arturo
million and
Fuente to
one.
smoke, buddy.
So, a lot of cigars being smoked in this country, guys. A lot.
Yeah, there are. Oh man,
I like this question.
yeah, that's a great
All right,
question.
so
I'm walking around a cigar shop in my head.
Yeah, so
All
I'm
right.
doing the same. I'm like, all right, would I pick that up?
all right, so
I'm shopping.
Grim has one more. You've given me 4 so far. I need one more, Grim, and then we can go back to the questions, and we'll do Zach and Gibbs and Robert as we go along.
Romeo and Juliet. I can't think
There
of the red label one.
Nice.
Like,
All right.
It's just like their flagship one. I can't think of what it's called.
Their flagship
Bully?
line. Okay.
The 18 something.
What was the shape? But yeah, 1870.
78 or 76 or
Eight.
77
Yeah, yeah.
or 75. I think it might be 75. All right, cool. All right, you have the con, Gibbs.
All right. Diesel, probably one of those that I had to take. And I like a lot of stuff in their line, so it's hard to pick down just one.
Sure.
Let's go with. I mean, I'm digging this Knuckle Sandwich right now, but I don't want to be self-serving here. Let's go with. I like the Oscars, but I can't decide between the Superfly or the McFly because I like both of those as well.
Yes,
And I can actually get them.
Rapper that I don't know its studios name. That one's good too.
Yeah. And then RoMa, of course. Gotta have RoMa. Ave Maria. Believe it or not, I'd like Ave Maria.
That's an online that's an online brand that AJ makes.
Yeah.
I think AJ makes that for Cigars International, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I like Ave Maria's. There's several of those lines I like. So I'd have to go there. And fifth, that's a really hard one because yeah. You
First
got
time
me
a guest comes on your show and stumps
I know,
you
and you
guys. I
stump
like that.
us, you know.
That's pretty good, huh?
What the hell?
I've been doing this a while.
Well, bravo, sir. You want a spot? No.
Yes, sir. I'm trying to set up my retirement gig to be in the media.
There you go. You're doing a good job.
This doesn't pay. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it doesn't pay shit. It's just
Put it
fun.
on your hobbies.
It's funny as you're going through them. As you're going through them, Zach's writing them down.
Having a month of these, I really wouldn't. This is really good for me. So I'm gonna say the Knuckle Sandwich.
All right, my man.
Yeah.
All right, Zach, what do you got?
It's hard to narrow it down. So one of my go-to cigars is the RoMa Intemperance EC.
That's the Connecticut, correct?
Yeah, which
Okay.
I'm not usually a huge fan of Connecticut, but I'm kind of opening up to it, and that cigar for some reason just is always right for me. So
You would dig
I
this
am-
one.
I am a huge Neanderthal cigar. I love the Neanderthal.
yeah,
the
that's
Black Irish.
Yep.
The Black Irish and the Fomorian. I love those 3 cigars that RoMa makes, and of course,
Oh, yeah.
obviously the one that they shipped over to Europe. What the hell's the name of that cigar?
They did ship a Neanderthal over there.
Wonderlust. The Wonderlust that they
I've not
don't
had that
sell.
one.
That's a really good cigar.
I
Really
like
good cigar.
the Aganorsa Cerberus from the
Okay.
Guardian of the Farm series. That
Okay.
cigar is just awesome for me.
Arganosa has really, really good tobacco.
Yes.
I forgot about that.
I like
You
the
see, this is what
Crowned
happens.
Heads Series E. I was thinking about this while Grimm was going through this.
Of course, the guy who goes first is always screwed. It's
Yeah,
the guys
yeah,
at the
for
end who
sure.
have their list will be so cool at the end. Well, of course,
yeah,
I'd like
it's-
the.
It's an illustrious position for me. I accept it with honor.
So you like
Yeah.
Crown Heads, okay?
Yep, Crowned Heads. The
I'm a-
Series
I-
E is.
I'm a
is
big
one I really
Jericho.
dig.
I'm a big Jericho Hill guy
Jericho.
I love the
Jericho's a
Jericho
great
Hill
cigar.
Cigar.
from
Yeah.
Crown Heads. Yeah.
I'm trying
And
to
of
think
course the ones that come out every year, the Calaveras. I'm a big Calaveras guy. Some I like more than others,
Okay.
but I like the whole concept of it.
Gotcha. I'm trying to think of the name of the black label trading company that I like.
Oh, you have is it a LE or is it Core?
I don't know. I don't know enough
Is
about
it
their line.
they have Bishop's Blend, they have
Killer
Boondocks, yeah, Killer Bee, Boondog Saints, the brown the Killer Bee, yeah, they've got so many.
Yeah, there's a bunch in that line that I would be happy with probably.
They're also very good. Blackworks, yeah, Black Label, Blackworks,
Blackworks, yeah.
Yeah, they're very good people as well. I really like what they've been doing. James I consider James a friend of mine as well. They're very good stuff. Very good stuff there.
Yeah. And I have the same problem with Caldwell, which is another label I really like. I like the Blind Man's Bluff a lot. I like the King series. I don't. Some of those I can't pick out which one is different, but they're all really good.
They're all really good.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, I mean, and I, this is like I said, my first Espinosa, but I'm digging this a lot too. So, in your honor, I will give it the 5th slot.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right, go ahead, Andy.
I would not turn that down at all.
Yeah, it's solid.
Mm-hmm.
I was afraid. I have to be honest. I was a little afraid that because it was a celebrity endorsed product, that it was going to be hyped. But this is a really good cigar.
It's 3 years down the road.
Yeah,
it's not a monkey shit cigar. A lot of guys thought it was going to be just because Guy Fieri, but it's not like he just threw his name on it. The guy smoked. You should see how many cigars this guy smokes. When we're at the show, it's cigar after cigar after cigar after cigar, and he is so proud of his cigar. I mean, that's really what makes it all worthwhile. That the celebrity behind it is all in on the brand.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Since you brought
all right, Andy, what do you got?
Since you brought Fieri back up,
okay.
Does his hair look like it could kill you in real life as it does on TV?
Nah, it's. I've seen him. When I've seen him, his hair is always kind of done. He's always got the product in it. But it's. Listen, I'm going to tell you something. He's just a regular guy, man.
I know.
But he's just a regular guy with Guy Fieri problems. Not, like.
Yeah.
We all have problems. He has Guy Fieri problems, and I'll give you an example. 6 months ago, we're doing a Zoom, a product Zoom about our plans and what we're going to do and what's next. And a mention is, hey, look, we got to do some more events together, some more cigar store events. And he says, absolutely, my plane is being serviced. Once my plane is out of service, is back from service, I can go out and start doing some more events. And then a couple of minutes later, I brought that back up. And he goes, well, Hector, I had said that, my plane was being serviced. I go, I'm sorry, you did. Problem is, and I don't know anybody who has their own plane. So it didn't filter. It just kind of went through my head. And I'm like,
straight through.
Yeah, I don't. You can't fly first class, and of course he can't. He can't fly first class. That guy can't sit on a plane. That guy can't sit on a plane. It's ridiculous.
Can't smoke cigars.
Right,
Oh my God, it's Guy Fieri.
It's exactly how it is. Listen, my son. I brought my son to the show 3 years ago on our first trip with him to the show. My son was a policeman in Miami. I told him, hey, take a couple of days off, and you can be his body man while we're here in Vegas. You walk around the show floor with him. That's
a horrible part-time gig. I'm telling you.
Well, it didn't pay him shit. He didn't get any money on it, so it was a horrible part-time shift because it didn't make any money. Though he did get to come to Vegas.
There you go.
I told him, just be his body guy, protect him in case anybody gets handsy. And he came back and said, Pop, that guy can't take 10 steps without somebody stopping him for a picture, an autograph, or to tell him how much they love his show. Listen,
Guy Fieri problems.
That's Guy Fieri problems. I mean,
I
could not. If I had to be on like he is all the time with people, I would find another. I'd sell mangoes on the side of the road. I just could not. I couldn't do it. And I mean, I've seen some of the stuff that people will come up to him. Guy, I love you. I love your stuff. And guys like, so thank you so much. Where are you from? Oh, I'm from Two Tits, Oklahoma. Oh, okay. Well, have you ever eaten at Joe's Buffalo Burger Shop there in Two Tits, right next to Three Balls? Yeah, absolutely. I've eaten there. My sister was a waitress there. Oh, you mean Emily? Yeah. And he connects with people on that level.
Oh,
And
wow.
and then people say, "Hey, Guy, I love you, man. Can I FaceTime my sister? She's dying, and she'd love to see you." Oh my God, what? How do you? This is that's hard, man.
Yeah.
Not me. If I'm a celebrity, Hector, I love your stuff. Wrong guy. That's not me. That's somebody else. I'm not. It's just so much. But he's good at it, man. He really is. He's learned to deal with it.
That's awesome.
So are we gonna let Andy choose, or we're gonna give him a break till later?
I can choose.
Go ahead,
Choose it,
sir.
buddy.
All right, so 5. We're gonna go with the Drew Estates Factory Smokes because that's just been a go-to for me.
They're absolutely killing it in the market when it comes to that bundled cigar that you can take anywhere, whether you're going to go hunting, working, fishing, you're working around the house. They've killed it. They've actually they've put a huge dent in the Quorum, which was the number 1 cigar in that group. So they've done a really good job with that.
We're gonna follow that up with pretty much anything from Caldwell, but I really dig. It's a tough call between the Blind Man's Bluff and the King is Dead.
The King is Dead. Okay.
But whichever one ends up on the island via UPS is fine with me.
Whichever's not out of stock.
Whichever one's not out of stock. Black Label is going to be number 3. Zach and I just had, what was it, the Intergalactic?
Oh, that's great.
Oh yeah, that was
Isn't
really
that
good.
Making the,
That was
we had
really
a great time making that joke, Intergalactic.
Planetary.
Intergalactic.
Planetary.
At the shop. So, I'd probably follow that with anything RoMa. But, I'm kind of with you, Hector. I love that Neanderthal.
Love that cigar. Can't get enough of it.
You kick my ass occasionally, but
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
Everybody needs to get their ass kicked every once in a while.
that's right. And yeah, 5th is always hard because there's always that one specialty cigar that you kind of want to always have on hand.
Sure.
And outside of this Knuckle Sandwich is delicious. But the AVO 75th has a spot in my heart, and I would take a box of those.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
I bought a box of those when my first kid was born, and I've only smoked one a year since I bought them. I got that idea from one of the guys in another cigar group.
That is pretty cool.
13 years ago.
So you
I
got
bought
7
2
left,
boxes
huh?
because they were boxes of 10.
Okay, so you got 7 left.
So yeah, I got 7 left.
And the plan
And the
is to
last
smoke those.
2, he and I, the plan to share the last 2 with him.
Outstanding. Okay, Robert, you and your new palate.
Well, I know you said we couldn't, but I would definitely want this one.
Okay.
As one of them. 'Cause I'm
Some black
really
and
liking
milds.
this.
What else do you want? Some acid, black and milds, and what else?
What's the other one?
Some backwoods.
Some backwoods.
Some Tatianas.
Habitampas. There you go. Some. You laugh. We laugh.
Man, I have it.
We laugh
They
at
sell a lot
Tatiana,
of cigars.
but
They make a killing.
they make a killing. They
make a
people.
killing.
It's
The
one of the
I had
greatest.
tasted,
It's one of
left the taste of great.
It's one of the
bubbly.
greatest gateway cigars in the industry.
It is.
Yep.
Tatiana, Macanudos, the one that Drew Estate makes, Acid. Those are all
Mhm.
incredible gateway cigars.
For sure. They're good
Yeah,
bridge.
so-
Good bridge cigars.
Yes, sir.
I would want a box of these.
Okay.
I would want a box of the Drew Estates Blackened.
Okay.
I would want a box of any of the RoMas, of course. Davidoff, number 3. And then the Perdomo Champagne.
That's another great gateway cigar.
Yep.
That's an outstanding gateway cigar. The Perdomo Champagne is one of those cigars that people get. They start. I don't know them that well, but I think if Perdomo just made gateways, they'd still make a killing. I mean, if they still made just the champagne, they'd make a killing. That cigar is, when you talk to people who started smoking cigars, it's always one of the first 5 or 6 that they tried that
Yep.
put them on the path. All right, I hijacked your show. Let me give it back to you.
No,
Go ahead,
well,
Gibbs. Let me give it back to your show.
You make a
That's
good point.
a
And
great
I,
question.
honestly, I think Drew Estate has come out with a good gateway, especially with pipe smokers or just regular, people who want to get into it, and with the Deadwood series.
The Deadwood has done very, very well. Very well. They're
That's
the
probably
Fat
gonna be.
Bottom Betty. They've done really. There is a market for that cigar,
Yeah.
and not only is there a market for that cigar, you're putting the Drew Estate Army behind it. You know, the
Yeah.
Drew Estate Army. You know, the people who smoke Drew Estate. It really is an army. Every company has their fan base, but the Drew Estate fan base is super loyal, and they get behind the products. I mean, Willie Herrera, who's the blender at Drew Estate, is one of my best friends. So
That's awesome.
we
That's
sit
awesome.
we sit together once a month and we have cigars. None of them are cigars you've ever heard of. They're all test blends, and what do you think of this? I think this is good. The nerds I tell that story to a bunch
I
of
wanna go
nerds,
to
and
that dinner.
I know that I'm getting some wood in that crowd. You know, they're oh my god,
I'll be back in a minute.
I gotta go rub one out here.
Yeah. But I think they're on to something, especially with like the aromatics in those cigars are great for a pipe smoker that wants to
Pipe tobacco,
try to-
sure, absolutely.
Exactly, that wants to reach over into the cigar realm and everything like that. So I think there's another gateway cigar there that is, in the next couple of years you're going to hear the same stories of the champagne, and they started with Deadwood. But that was just a little side note. But how about you? What's your 5?
Oh, well, I'm not going to count. I'm not going to count any of the ones I made because listen,
But you should.
all right. How about this? I will carry one of mine over,
Okay.
and then carry 4 others. How about that? All right. So I would definitely take a box of Neanderthal with me on the trip. I would take a box of Illusion Rothschilds.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good cigar.
That's
The
a
box
good
of
one.
Illusion
I forgot
Rothschild.
about that cigar. I love that cigar.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Zach was really happy with that cigar. When we
Yeah.
had
The
it on
Illusion
our show.
Rothschild is a fantastic
Was I, or was
cigar.
it just an illusion?
I would definitely take a box of HVC's San Isidro, which is a very
Never
similar
heard of
cigar to the one that Robert's smoking right now. Have you guys ever heard of HVC?
Mhm.
Yes.
All right. All right, so HVC, that's
I have not.
3. That's 2. I would take a box of a cigar that we make called Murciélago, which is the bat cigar. Looks like it has like a Batman logo on
Yes.
the front. That is a fantastic cigar.
I have a question about that later.
Yes, sir.
We-
Number 4, I would be stuck somewhere between. I would be stuck for a minute, but I think I would go with the Lat 52, the stuff that Casey Johnson, Pete's brother from Tatuaje.
Mhm.
I like this. I like the Casey stuff is a little bit more. I want cigars that are a little bit different. Where I think that the Tatuaje and us and the Black Label and the RoMa are kind of in the same ballpark. I think the Lat 52 is a little bit more dynamic, a little bit more not spice forward, a little bit more flavorful. So I would go with that as my 4th box, and then my last box would be the Padron number 9. The number 9 Padron is natural or Maduro. I don't care which one you give me. That to me is my favorite cigar. If I could make a cigar that tasted like that, I would retire tomorrow. I mean, I wouldn't have to worry about. All right, look, we're gonna make this, and this is it, and on we go. And that's what we're gonna do. So those are my 5.
That's awesome. I mean, and those, it's so you're absolutely right. As soon as people start talking about their favorites, you're like, oh, I forgot about that one. That'd be a good one to take.
Sure. Listen, and there's a whole bunch of brands that it's not that they're not good. I only can take 5. I'm only going to be there a month.
Mhm.
You know.
Oh, yeah.
I
Don't be there for a month.
could have taken a box of a Blackworks, any of the Blackworks LE. I could have taken a box of Steve stuff, anything that's
Oh,
Saka
yeah.
makes.
Saka, yeah.
I could have taken I could have my favorite Drew Estate cigar that I could have taken the Undercrown 10th anniversary,
That's a good
I
Which
one.
is-
almost put that on my list. I love that cigar.
the Padron
The
10th anniversary,
Connie or the Maduro?
the Maduro, the Maduro Undercrown 10, with the little gold thing over the foot. That's
Yep.
With
That
the too
cigar is
many
phenomenal.
bands.
Yeah, there's the my
I love that
father
cigar,
the my father La
My
Bijou.
father.
That's a
Yes.
great cigar.
My father, I
That's
love my
that's a great cigar. The Oliva Millennia, the Plasencia
Oh, yeah.
Almafuerte. I love those cigars. Any of those,
Almost picked one of those up yesterday.
Those are, those are great cigars. Just great cigars.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
All
It's a
right.
good
So,
list.
You want to? I'll let Gibbs ask his bat question, then I'll ask mine.
well, I was going to ask, I'm about halfway through mine. So do you want to midpoint check in?
Sure.
Go ahead.
It's either that or I'm gonna
Oh,
light the second
brother.
one. And we'll do the midpoint of
I'm
that one.
almost
take the
done.
first. Yeah.
I know Grimm's almost done. Robert's almost done. So
I am so
do-
happy that Grimm has decided to smoke my cigar here today. That's very good.
I'm about to go get another one.
Let me know who it is so I can see if I can imitate the guy. I might not be able to imitate the guy.
I gotta see your.
That's-
I want to
that's
see
what I
a
can
skip
do.
invitation.
All right, maybe he'll go grab a
I could
RoMa.
probably do it.
He'll probably go get a RoMa.
We get a Roman.
I could probably do a little skip. I'm not good with voices, but I could probably do a little skip.
Nice. Halfway through mine, so far it's been a consistent smoke. It's been delicious from beginning to now. I fully expect to be delicious all the way. No film on my mouth, which of course, if I get a film on my mouth, it takes me right out of the cigar. No construction issues whatsoever. I love that, and like I said, it's just a really good taste. It's definitely a medium cigar for me. It's not, it's not a typical Connecticut.
Not a typical
by
Connecticut,
any means. By any means, I'd put it right there. The other Connecticut I've had on here that I really loved was the Aganorsa Connecticut. Really good. It's kind of like a medium body with that too. So yeah, right there with it. So I'm digging this cigar. Grimm, how about you, buddy?
I don't want to smoke a cigar ever again. between the hardcore razzing and just the poor quality, like I can't do it anymore.
But doesn't Grimm live by one of you guys? Doesn't Grimm live next?
He lives near me.
Go drop him. Go Uber him a cigar, man. Uber this guy a cigar. Let's get him on the on the
Well,
program,
again, that's the problem. We're in Noonan. I had to go all the way up to Blue Ridge, North Georgia, to get this one.
Yeah, that's
I
like
had to
a
go to
2.5 hour
Tennessee to
drive.
get this one.
By the way, I mean, I know you want to support local brick and mortars, which is great.
We
Always
do.
support the local brick and mortars. But if your local brick and mortar doesn't carry the stuff you want to try, there are some online companies that you can, like Smoke In, which is a store, and Corona,
Is
which
that
is
that
a
internet thing?
Yeah.
That's the internet thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
You
and I'm
have the
pretty sure-
internet there, right? You have the internet in
Kinda
Louisiana,
sketchy.
right?
Andy, it's where you get your porn.
I got mice. I got mice running a wheel on a motor.
You got a hamster over there when
That's it.
when he sends a picture, he has to send it. When he sends a JPEG, it goes in the envelope. It goes.
It does.
Clippy
Hold
ass
it in the paper
help.
airplane. Off it goes.
I mean, I'm pretty
Off we
sure if
go.
we talk to Penny, she could probably get it to us too. But
Oh yeah.
yeah, just one of those cases that we just lucked out on Grimm getting one. So
Or not.
that's
getting
more
one.
my fault than
I
his
was gonna
because,
say,
like I said, I told him where to get it, but they just didn't have it. So
After we're done, and you guys have your post meeting, Grimm's gonna go. Don't ever let me go through this bullshit again. And just so you know, Grimm, just so you know, you're far away enough from the camera that you could have said I'm smoking whatever, and I would have gone, oh great, I couldn't have told. Your honesty has killed you. You being honest has killed you.
I'm smoking a
Knuckle Sandwich, yeah, one of those. I'm smoking,
yeah, one of those. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm smoking
Just go ahead and
one
give
of
me a knuckle
those.
sandwich. It's right in the face.
All right.
all right. So Andy, what do you think of yours, buddy?
It's fucking delicious. The peppers kick back a bit. Of course, I'm well more than halfway done with mine.
Mhm.
The great part about this, show is we're not doing all the talking for once. But yeah, it's good. It's been easy to stay lit. I don't want to put it down.
Grimm's gonna get in his car.
Like I said,
and
I
drive.
bought two of the same cigar because I knew that having the Corona was gonna be, it wouldn't fill up the time that we usually take. So that's why I got two.
I think Grimm is driving over to Gibbs' house right now.
He's like, damn it, give me some out of the humidor. You son of a bitch!
Just slaps him in the back of the head.
Well, you had this in the situation.
Like that.
Don't you ever bash me like that again.
I will never live this down. Never live this down.
How about you,
Because it'll be
Robert?
on the internet, and the internet's forever.
The
Internet
internet's
is forever.
Say it and forget it. Post it and regret it.
Right.
This has easily become my number 2 cigar behind the RoMa. Sorry, Hector. RoMa's got me.
There's nothing wrong with that.
But
There's
this
nothing
is
wrong with that.
definitely going to bump the Drew Estate out and the Davidoff out as my number 2 cigar.
Well, he can
Wow.
remember he can buy 2 of these for what he spent for one Davidoff too. So don't forget.
That's
You're right. You're right. No, but
That's
economics are
absolutely
important.
correct.
Economics are
behind-
important.
Robert was a Davidoff fan. I mean, he really, really liked Davidoff when I introduced it to him, and that was in the number 1 spot for the longest time. I mean, the longest time. So that's
They
pretty
they
good
make
if it knocked it out.
they make a couple of good cigars that I like as well. Escurio, I like Escurio a lot, and I like the Davidoff Nicaragua a lot.
But yeah, this one is definitely now number 2. I will definitely seek out and find more of these.
Outstanding.
And Zach,
I'm just a little upset that I hadn't tried one of these earlier. It's fantastic. Like,
Listen, I get it. You're
super
not the only one who said the same. A lot of people
Yeah.
said that at the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people came the second year at the show and they were like, "Hey, you know, we thought that you wouldn't be around the second year, but the cigars, you know, the cigar was worth the cigars had a lot of staying power, which we're happy to know."
I'm
It's
loving
impressive.
the cigar.
All right, cool.
That's awesome. All right. So now that Grimm has gotten the RoMa out, because he's like, damn it, this is a good cigar. I try to say some shit about this.
I'm going to bat now.
All right, one of you guys had a question about the Murcielago.
Yes. Is it Murcielago or is it Murcielago?
It's Murcielago. It's in Spanish. It's Murcielago. Nobody's gonna say it. Murcielago is fine.
Yeah.
A lot of guys call it the Bat cigar, the Batman cigar. You know,
Call the bat.
Well,
the Bat.
I think our question is more based around the new one that's coming out. I think it's either late November, the Shikaka.
The Shikaka.
Shikaka.
I didn't know about the name. That's amazing.
Yeah, the
All
Shikaka. Wait. It's the Shikaka White Bat, and I want to know if it's a nod to Ace Ventura
gotta
2.
be.
I know it's probably
Of course
not.
it-
It's
Well,
gotta
all
be.
So
We
let me
want it
give
to
you
be.
the backstory. So are you guys familiar with what the TAA is?
I am, but I may be
No.
the only person that is.
All right, the TAA is the Tobacco Association of America.
Hmm.
It's 80 retailers who come together kind of as a buying group. They're some of the older retailers in the country, and they have their own organization. They have their own convention where retailer manufacturers go and we pitch cigars to them, and you know they buy in bulk, and you know it's a good thing. It's one of those nice things you like to put on your resume that you're a company that deals with the TAA. So last year was our very first year. We came in last year with Plasencia, who is not new in the cigar industry. They've been making cigars for 30 years, 40 years, but they had just recently, in the last maybe 4 or 5 years, come out with their own line. If you haven't tried one, you should go out and try one. The Plasencia, they make really good cigars. So we came in with them at the same time, and we wanted to have a cigar that was ready for the TAA, because the worst thing you can do is go to a convention, show a cigar, and then not have it available for 6 months. Because look, retailers, shelf space that's the battle with retailers. Shelf space and interest. If they see something that they like and they want to jump while the iron is hot. So we were going to release that cigar, the Golden Bat. Last year's Murcielago de Oro, which is the Golden Bat. That was going to be a regular production release for us, a new release. But since the TAA approved us and the cigar was ready to go, we went ahead and sacrificed it as a core line to the TAA. We made 1,500 boxes and we sold 1,000 of them at the show. And over the course of 6 months, we filled orders for the other 500. They are gone. So between the TAA, the last TAA and this TAA, 18 months went by. So we wanted to continue the theme of Murcielago, which was what we did the last TA. So we wanted to make a Connecticut because only 3 or 4 Connecticut's have ever been made for the TAA. Usually the TAA, when manufacturers come out for the TAA, they usually come out with a slam dunk cigar, something that's already known, something that's already sells, and maybe a new line, a new size. That's it. Or they'll make it a Bellicoso or a Torpedo instead of a Toro. And there's nothing really super exciting about that. It's a safe buy for manufacturers, but we wanted to try something different. So we were thinking, hey, a white bat, a Connecticut, and the guys we got Shikaka. And Shikaka, Shikaka is the great white bat.
Yeah.
And we had T-shirts that said Shikaka from the guys. They'll be back at the office tomorrow because TA was this last weekend. But when I talked to Jack on several occasions while he was at Aruba at the show, he goes, Shikaka is the talk of the trade show because everybody just digs the name. Plus the fact that we sold out through, I think we made 1,200 boxes, and I think we sold close to 1,100. I think we just lost Andy.
It's okay. He'll jump back on.
We went through our allotment, I think, already, and the cigar is due to land in Miami in like 3 weeks. So last year we had that cigar at your shop when you returned from TA. This year, because of the show being right around the corner and it's the end of the year, we had a little bit of a hiccup, but it'll be ready, and people will have it less than a month after the TA, and they'll still be able to enjoy it. And it's kind of the name is kind of a nod to the whole the whole Ace Ventura thing. But there is a great white bat. There is an albino bat.
Yeah.
And who knows what we're gonna do next year? I have no idea what the hell we're gonna do next year. Maybe we'll do man bat or some shit. I have no idea what we're gonna do next year. But
DC might fight that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. We might have a problem with that.
You just have to go get licensing.
Wait! You could do the Jersey Devil, because isn't that like a bat-like man?
We might do the Mothman next year. I don't know.
Mothman. That's it. Mothman. That's it.
Yeah.
The Mothman. We might call it the Prophecy or something like that. The Mothman is not. We have to make sure that it's not owned by anybody, because the last thing you want to do is get into a
copyright infringement law. Yeah.
Sure. Listen, we were going to release a cigar about 10 years ago. We have a cigar called Wasabi. Wasabi is a Candela green wrappered cigar,
Ooh,
and we were going to call it Kermit's Johnson because we were going to. We were going to call it Kermit's Johnson, but we really didn't want to upset the Children's Television Network, thinking that the guys from Sesame Street were going to sue us for some stupid shit like that. But we were all in on that. It's a green cigar with a black little tip on it. It looks like a frog's dick, I guess. And we
That's fucking awesome.
And I would smoke that with pride.
The hardest thing to do in the cigar industry is not make a cigar. It's to come up with a name.
Yeah.
Coming up with a name is the hardest thing to do.
Yeah.
Absolutely the hardest thing to do. Because of, trademarks and, this guy owns that name and that guy owns this name. A lot of guys have registered these names for years, even though they've never released a cigar, but they had the trademark on the name. So it's hard, you got to make sure that, that you have something that'll get through,
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking to the Cigar Loons. They were talking about even the blackened, right? They can't release the blackened over in Europe because there's already a whiskey there that's called blackened. So they can't release the whiskey. They can't release the cigar. They can't release anything with that name because there's already a whiskey over there that's called blackened.
We can't release Knuckle Sandwich in Europe because it has a food in the name, sandwich.
Oh gosh.
You can't release anything that has Habano in the name because of their lasting friendship with Cuba and the Cuban cigars in the market.
Right.
There's a lot of different things that we have to worry about. Sadly, So, but the cigar is making the cigar is the easiest part. It's naming it, and then coming up with the right marketing strategy.
Yeah. Man.
So are we gonna be able to get a Shikaka, or is that like already gone? Never.
No. Well, we sold it to the retailers.
Okay.
There are all right. So Just so you know, if you don't have any local, if you have to go to the TAA website, I don't know what there's only 80 retailers in the whole country. I'm sure there's a retailer in Georgia, but worst case scenario, Smoke Inn and Corona are both TAA shops, and they sell online. So you'll be able to get it. You'll be able to. The one TAA guy that I know has the guy from New Hampshire, and he doesn't carry us because he's pissed off that he thinks he's invented everything in the cigar industry. He hasn't, and he was upset that we put a wick on a cigar because he claimed that was his original idea.
Oh my
and I'm
God.
tired of fuck that guy, and I'm tired. I don't want to hear any more shit about that guy. That guy's got me. That guy's got me at the point. If he ever says anything negative about us again, he's going to catch some hands. So I'm serious.
I need a video of that. Thanks.
It's okay. I see him at the show every year, and I just kind of shake my head, going, "Oh man, this guy should have caught me when I was an angry guy. I'm a happier guy. They should have caught me when I was angry." But still, my point is there are some TAA retailers out there, some really good ones who have an online presence, and you'll be able to acquire the cigar.
Yeah. And we our what we like to do, we like to source first local because again, we want to.
Of course, I absolutely agree.
And then
we always support your brick and mortars because they're the guys on the front line for us. But listen, not all brick and mortars carry everybody, you know.
You're right. And then if the brick and mortar doesn't have what we have, then we try to source, online.
I always suggest to people, before I suggest they go online and look, I always say, listen, tell your brick and mortar to bring us in. You're interested in having it. What's the worst he can do? Bring in a box or two, and if he can't move a box or two of cigars, it's that might be a problem with the brick and mortar.
Yeah,
it might not be brick and mortar too much longer.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good point too. Oh man,
Shikaka.
That's great.
And when you order Shikaka, you have to say it just like
I'm doing it. Yeah, absolutely.
You have to say, "I'll have a Shikaka." Yeah, they're just like Jim Carrey. If not, you can't place the order.
You gotta hold.
I'm
you
gonna
have to hold the cigar up like he holds a bat in the movie. Just
What did he spit on you because he respects you? Really? Alrighty then.
Exactly.
Now I want to go watch both Ace Ventura movies.
I know, right? They're talking about a third. Just saying.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I think he's retired though. He doesn't do movies anymore, right?
He doesn't, but they are thinking about doing. I don't know if they're going to do it with him or not. But they're talking about it.
he says that, but he just signed on for Sonic 3, so
He did, but that's a great role.
If the money's right, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw out a non-cigar question. Yankees or Dodgers?
I am a National League guy. I grew up rooting for the National League. One moment, please.
Chicago.
Chicago.
He's going to break it out. Here it is.
I'm a National League guy. And on top of being a National League guy, I was raised and I'm a full-hearted New York Mets fan. And every New York Mets fan hates the Yankees. So, go Dodgers. Yeah.
Dodgers. Nice.
Go Dodgers. Go Dodgers.
I'm a Braves guy. So
listen,
I'm going
you guys
Dodgers
did real
for
well for. You guys did real well for a team that lost everybody.
For a team that lost everybody. Yeah.
For a team that was so injured, you guys still made it to the playoffs. That's something you should hang your head on. At least it could be worse. It could be the Phillies.
Right.
I know, right? God. If you're ever a Braves fan, you hate the Phillies with a passion.
That's right.
Listen, when I moved from New Jersey, when my parents moved down here in '74, there was no more Mets baseball. The only baseball I could see was the NBC Game of the Week. And then as you got older, the Turner Broadcasting TBS became a thing, and you could watch the Braves. I mean, I'm 58. I don't know how old Andy is, but I remember watching those bad Joe Torre teams with Bob Horner and Darrell Evans and Biff Pocoroba and Phil Niekro. I mean, that's all you had. Then after the Braves, then WGN, you could watch Cubs games here. And then thank God, cable
became a thing.
Yeah, cable became a thing, and I saw a little bit more of the Mets, and now I have the Major League Baseball package. I haven't missed a Mets game probably in 5 years, so I'm
Nice.
I'm a huge baseball fan.
And the Dolphins, really?
They lost today. They
were winning, like
They
third
were
quarter.
winning, but he was, he hasn't played in 4 weeks. He's a little rusty, and the defense is not as good as people thought they were going to be.
Mm-hmm.
You give Arizona credit; they came down here and played in the heat, and they won.
They're from Arizona. They're used to playing in heat.
It's a dry heat though. It's
a
like
dry
somebody
heat,
left somebody left the pizza oven open. It's
Right?
ridiculous.
Right.
I do have another question for you, Hector.
Yes, go ahead.
What's your
That's what I'm
daily
here for, sir.
What's your daily driver? What's your daily smoker that you like?
My daily smoker. I don't have a daily smoker.
It's a Traeger or a Pit Boss?
No, you're talking. No, you're talking about what cigar do I smoke every day?
Yeah.
I don't have one. I don't have one. Listen, when I started with the company, we had no cigars for sale. We had to. It pains me to smoke anything that we were selling, because we were, we started in started an 800 square foot warehouse, and we had no product. And it pains me to open a box to get something for me to smoke. I smoke samples. Most of the time, if you ever see me, I'm smoking a sample, because this didn't make it to production, and I've got 40 or 50 of them, and I've got probably 1,000 cigars in my office. So I smoke the stuff that if a box got opened, then I'll grab a couple and I'll leave them in my humidor. But usually I smoke stuff that didn't become anything, because I can't fathom I can't fathom smoking something that we could sell.
Yeah,
That makes good sense. Yeah.
that makes
Yeah.
sense. And I got a follow. Well, it's not a follow-up question to that. It's more of a follow-up question to our conversation we were having before we started. And you've been a little bit of a comic book collector in the past.
I was.
And,
Yes.
What's your favorite comic book? Because we have two guys on here that love comic books.
I'm a Green Lantern guy.
Really?
I'm a
Okay.
Green Lantern guy. I have probably 1,500, maybe 2,000 books here at home. I was Green Arrow, Green Lantern. Those are the ones I have. The last, I stopped collecting when they came out with the New 52. After the New 52 came out, I just couldn't keep up anymore. But I have everything going back to Hal Jordan. So I've got up to the 70s. Up to the I've got stuff in the 70s on. I don't have a lot of the early 60s and 50s books. They're just out of my price range.
Yeah.
I mean, I just can't afford this. I can't afford to spend $12,000 on a comic book. I'd have my nuts hanging. I'd have my nuts cut off in a Crown Royal bag. I mean, you can't do that. I mean, you can if you have access. I don't have that kind of. I mean, I'm a retiree pretty much. You have to value. Well, let's see. What's the purchase? Do I buy a $12,000 comic book and somehow sneak that in the house and
No.
I have other stuff I can buy. Listen, right before I retired, I went on a little bit of a gun binge. I picked up all the guns I wanted before I retired from the department. And, I'm sitting here and I'm staring at my gun locker that I can't believe I bought a safe that weighs like 700 pounds.
I've moved one of those recently.
Yeah, and it's in that corner and it's not moving till I move, and I wanted an AK-47, I went and bought one. I wanted an FNFAL, I went and I bought one. I wanted a HK91, I went and I bought one. But I'm done now. I think the last gun I bought, I bought two 1911s with
nice.
serial numbers are back to back.
Oh, wow.
So I'm waiting. My son's going to take the sergeant's test in 2 weeks. Once he gets promoted, I'm going to give him one of my 1911s.
That's awesome.
So,
Nice.
That's great.
and then eventually, hopefully in 25 years down the road, when I'm dust in the wind, he'll have these for himself as well, So,
That's awesome.
Very cool.
thank you.
So what kind of 1911 is it?
It's a Colt. It's a Colt. I have a Colt
nice.
government.
Yeah.
I have the government. I have the what's the other one? The government and the I have the big one and the small one. I have two of each.
The Commander.
The Commander, Colt Commander.
Yeah. They make a good 1911.
They do make Yes, sir.
No, I was just holding up for the next. You keep going. Okay,
Go
fine.
ahead, Grimm.
So-
What is your question? What is your?
So I'm going to continue this. I'm going to continue this from our last guest that I was actually part of. What did you think of Wolverine versus Deadpool, or Deadpool and Wolverine, or whatever the hell it was?
I enjoyed that movie. I'm not a Marvel guy, so I'm not true to the storyline. And I mean, I'm not Terrence, who's gonna have who had a titty attack because he did. He got his very large panties in a twist. Not large, because he doesn't wear panties. Let me not say that. He got his very long dockers in a twist. We fuck with him because we say he looks like the president of all. He looks like the president of the Blockbuster Salesman Union. But I thought it was an entertaining movie. To me, it was hysterical. And I saw a bootleg copy of that a couple of days after it came out. And whoever filmed this camcorder version, when Deadpool and when they meet Elektra and Gambit and fucking Wesley Snipes comes out, the crowd went crazy in the theater.
Oh, hell yeah.
The people. So I know that maybe Terrence didn't like it, but the Marvel guys had to have all had erections at the fucking theater when all these people came back out.
Yeah.
It was cool. As far as it goes for
it was awesome, but it's not true to. Listen, I saw the Green Lantern movie. The Green Lantern movie was awful, but not because the storyline wasn't good. The storyline was great. The storyline was Parallax. It was right on point with the story of Parallax. Problem is, Ryan Reynolds should have never been the Green Lantern. Ryan Reynolds was born to be Deadpool. I mean,
Yeah.
Yep.
True.
Green Lantern has to be an angrier guy, a guy with issues. A guy with some anger issues. That's who the
He's
Green
got a little
Lantern
baggage
is.
to him, yeah.
Yeah, he's got to have a guy with some baggage. He can't, it should be the other guy, the guy who was in Firefly. He should be the Green Lantern.
Ooh.
I can't think of what his name is. What the hell's his name?
Um.
Fuck.
Wait, which guy in Firefly?
Dang it.
I'll tell you his name right now. Give me a second here.
IMDb Firefly.
Yes,
Like
that's
Nathan
exactly where I
Fillion?
am.
Nathan Fillion.
Nathan Fillion should have been Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I
In
can
my
see
opinion.
that.
No, that's not a bad choice
Yeah,
at
I
all.
can see that.
That's a
I
good
can see
choice.
Yeah. Maybe you should be in charge of casting for DC from now on.
Yeah, and the listen, I'm one of the few guys who liked the Justice League movie. I thought the Justice League movie was good.
I did too.
I thought
liked
it was
enjoyed
good. You know,
was
and I
entertained.
liked. It was entertained. I mean,
Yeah.
there's nothing worse than going to a movie and not being entertained. That was entertained.
Is this the part where
You
we
guys
ask
hear
him
that,
Star Wars or Star Trek?
Oh, neither. Oh man, I'm going to tell you guys something, and you guys are going to be upset. I have never seen Star Wars.
Really?
You're
I have
not the
never
f-
seen.
Oh wow.
I have not seen. Don't get me wrong. I know what it looks like. I've seen segments on it on television, but I have never sat to watch Star Wars.
Interesting.
It's just it's not for me. I mean,
We can
it's
still
not
be
for
friends,
me.
though. It's okay.
We can still be friends. Listen, I think I've never watched the which is the one with the Lord of the Rings. I've never watched the Lord of the Rings.
But did you read it?
I didn't know. I remember reading the. I remember watching in school. We saw
Cartoon.
The cartoon Hobbit.
Oh, the Hobbit.
Hobbit.
We saw the Hobbit. Yeah.
We watched that too.
And Harry Potter. I saw it only because my girls were little at the time, but you want to entertain me? Tell me we're going to watch Godfather 1, 2, and 3 back to back.
Okay.
I'll
There
do
you
that.
go.
I
Yeah,
got
I'll-
that too.
Nice.
And I'll argue with people who'll tell me the Godfather 3 sucked. Well, of course Godfather 3 sucked because you're comparing it to two of the greatest movies ever made.
Yeah.
Right.
But alone,
Yeah.
Godfather 3 is not nearly as bad as people say. There are a lot worse. There are a lot worse mafia movies out there that are worse than Godfather 3. The problem is that it's that third kid after you have two kids who go to Yale and there's one guy who goes to community college. He's not. So what are these two went to Yale and he went to air conditioning school. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
You still love him.
You still love him. I could have done without Sofia Coppola, but I mean, outside of that, what do you want?
Going
Oh,
back
shit,
to
I need
the
a light.
previous.
I want another
You guys
knuckle
hear that
sandwich, so I'm
Nathan-
having one.
Go ahead, sir.
Did you hear that Nathan Fillion's in the new reboot of the DC universe as
Is
a
he really?
Lantern, but Yeah, but he's not Hal Jordan. He's Guy Gardner.
Now, I don't like that because I
I
think
don't
Guy
either,
Gardner
but-
should be even an angrier guy than that.
Right.
Yeah.
Guy Gardner should be a guy like Brian Bosworth who was on steroids or something. He should be a guy who's got got a little roid rage. He should be a little roid rager, you know.
That feeling's a little skinny to be Gardner.
Yeah, Guy Gardner's jacked up, you know.
Yeah, I think it's a
Maybe
really
they'll
weird
put a
thing
muscle
to do.
suit on him.
Maybe they'll put a muscle suit on him. I don't know.
It's possible.
The first thing I thought of a muscle suit was Ricardo Montalban in Wrath of Khan. Giant plastic chest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look what they've done to my Chrysler.
Cigar question.
Go ahead.
'cause I know it's a big thing for you guys.
Louisiana, go ahead. I feel like Larry King. Louisiana, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm a first-time caller, long-time listener.
Long-time listener. I never made the connection, Mr. Obvious. All right, go.
Lazona Palooza.
Yes.
I was told by a friend of mine that I should definitely get the 411 on Lazona Palooza.
All right. To get invited to Lazona Palooza, it's very simple. Go to the Lazona page. Join the Lazona page on Facebook. First of all, join the Lazona page on Facebook, and just start liking things. Interact with the crowd. Interact with the community. The people who are selected to come to Lazona Palooza are the ones who are commenting and posting and interacting and going to events. They come and then they come to Lazona Palooza. Listen, Lazona Palooza is my least favorite event of the year. Not because it's not a fantastic event, because it is. But you're talking about having 200 fans come to your warehouse and giving them FaceTime. That's not really, I don't excel at that. You know, but Eric does and Jack does and Ricky and Eric, they all love it. And the hospitality is great and the fellowship is fantastic. But by now, after our 7th or 8th Lazona Palooza, a lot of the people who are there know each other. They spend all year chatting to each other online, and then they get to see each other. And they sit and they smoke for 2 days, and they eat and they drink, and Eric tells stories, and there's rap. It's a really good thing. So the best way to get there is go to the Lazona page, become a part of the community, become integral in the community. And next thing you know, man, you'll get the invite.
Awesome.
Nice.
You said food, so I'm pretty interested. So that works.
Oh, listen, Eric. When it comes to this event, Eric, the guys who come to Lazona Palooza, they're never short for cigars and they're never short for food. We feed them 3 times while they're there. We have a big party on Saturday night, the last night of the event. I host a herf at the local shop so people can come on Saturdays before the party at night. It's Caribbean is my home shop where I go to, and it's possibly the best boutique cigar shop in the Southeast. I mean, when it comes to having boutique cigar brands, he's got them all. Yeah, he's got a little Padron, he's got a little Fuente section, but outside of that, it's Curavari and Crux and Sobremesa and Foundation and Elucion and Blackworks and RoMa and Espinosa. He's got. That's the kind of shop that he has.
Awesome.
That's great.
Oh, Caribbean food, man, that sounds good too.
Listen, 3 days in Miami in November. There's a lot worse places to be, you know.
Yeah.
It's not going to be super hot. It'll be nice.
Yeah.
It'll be warm, but it won't be your nuts are floating inside your underwear because it's so damn humid.
Welcome to Louisiana. We have that
Well, you're
problem
from
year round.
Louisiana. Listen, we did the cigar show in 2015 there, and we were sitting outside, and I was like, man, it is hot as fuck here.
Yeah.
And we're from Miami, and New Orleans was much more humid than Miami. It was the air was so thick that the smoke wouldn't rise.
Yeah.
That's how damn thick it was. It was the worst.
Zach and I've been on the patio back here where that's been a problem.
And we'll be back there in April of next year. April
PCA.
11th, we'll be PCA.
Yeah, we're trying to get in PCA, but it probably ain't going to happen.
They're not. Why? They're not.
We're just getting kind of roadblocks every time we try to contact them or try to reach out to somebody that could possibly get us in. Just kind of getting roadblocks.
Well, but the thing is, if you're media, as long as you pay, they'll take anybody who pays.
Yeah,
because the
It's
media
true.
guys have to pay to go.
yeah.
But it's a lot of work, brother. It's a lot of work. I'll talk to you after the show. I'll talk to you
Okay.
after this. No.
Thanks, man. Well, it's getting to the sad part of my cigar. I had to put it down because it was burning my fingers. So shut up, Andy. You lit another one.
I did.
So
I'm having
we're gonna
fun.
go ahead
I'm
and-
gonna let another one.
We're going to give our final thoughts on them. For mine, I really loved it. It was consistent all the way through. Great smoke. It actually became more of a medium full towards the end because I got the full flavor of it. It was really good. I'm not good at pulling out flavors of cigars or taste of cigars.
Neither am I. Yeah. I have maybe seven to 10 flavors that I can tell you. I wish I had the palate from that guy from Half Wheel, but I don't. I taste cranberries, but cranberries grown on a northern bog, and and leather, but not like car leather, but like the leather on a ball gag. That I don't know. I'm not that cute,
Yeah, I can't do it either, and most of us can't do it. Zach's the only one that can actually pull out some stuff that I'm like, really?
I think I read
Not
once
really.
he said he tasted Ed Nami, so I guess he must have dropped his cigars in a grocery bag or something.
Right?
I mean, I
Tossing around with some beans.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I taste beans and Franks from like a barbecue.
But no film whatsoever in my mouth, so A+ on that.
What's this film you keep talking about? I'm very
Okay,
interested.
there's a lot of cigars that I smoke, and the others I smoke too. That I'll get a film in my mouth from smoking it.
It coats
like-
your mouth, right?
It does. It coats my entire mouth, and for me, it takes me out of the cigar because that's all I taste. That's all it is, and it kind of takes away from the cigar for me, and I knock it off a point for that. But for this one, none whatsoever.
Huh. Outstanding.
So that it was a very enjoyable smoke. It's one of those that if I could afford it, it'd probably be a daily driver if I could get it. That's another thing, I can't get it around here. But for me, it's probably going to be like a 4.8 out of 5.
Huh. Very nice.
It's very high up there. I'd definitely pick it up again if I saw it, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. So I'll go in the correct order this time. Andy, how about you?
Wait, we have an order? Yeah, I guess we do kind of do the whole alphabet thing.
We do.
Hated it so much I fired up a second one.
I knew it.
Yeah, it's just torture. I had to torture myself. No, it had a great spicy beginning, and that kind of kept with all the way at least to the midpoint. It kind of died down there at the end. The other one got a little warm, like maybe the last third, or not even the last third, but but good flavor throughout. It's easy smoke. It's my fault. I picked up a size. Well, I picked up what they had at the shop, so I prefer more of a robusto. So something a little bit bigger in ring gauge. But outside of that, it's been a great cigar. I'm kind of with Gibbs. I think I give it a 4.75.
Nice.
Very nice.
Like I said, so bad I fired up the other one I bought because
He's got to make sure.
Yeah.
don't know if you don't smoke two of them.
He's confirming. He's validating.
Validation.
Absolutely.
Wait,
Hey,
that's wrong-
don't use any
wrong
of that
company.
Riley
Sorry about
bullshit
that.
here, okay?
Okay, sorry.
Don't use any of that Riley bullshit here, okay?
He's
cut
confirming.
that out.
He's confirming.
Trust but verify. That's it. Trust but verify.
That's right.
There you go.
I don't mind. You can go Reagan. Don't go Riley. That's good.
Graham, do you want me to skip over you, buddy?
Do what?
Do you want me to skip over you?
Yeah, I'll go last. Don't worry about me.
Okay, we'll skip over Grim for now. How about Robert?
5-0.
5-0,
Easy.
nice.
Like I said, I enjoyed it. I will definitely get more of those. And I want to try the Knuckle Sandwich because everybody is talking so highly about it. So I will definitely go seek one out.
It's crap. Don't do it.
Awesome.
It's crap.
We just
Just
wanted me to
see
leave
you.
more for you.
It's total
Second
crap.
smoker.
Nice. All right, Zach, what you think, buddy?
I feel a little bad about the times that we've had like manufacturers on the line, and I've just apparently picked the perfect cigar for me. So I can't knock it for anything. And I love this cigar. It's so good. I'm gonna give it a 5. I'm excited about getting another one of these. These are delicious.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. So, Grimm, what'd you think of that Fuente?
Oh, what a monument to man! It was just it was so delicious. You know, okay. So if I'm putting it all, it was a 3.25. As I said, like I don't even know what to call it because it was a clear wrapper with a Fuente on the side of it. So that's the only reason I knew it was a Fuente. Past that, like it's just but it wasn't. I wouldn't even call it a daily smoker. It was something to quick smoke and be done with. So
how's that RoMa?
It had a little bit of the film, which I got rid of with the RoMa, which I'm about to actually give a serious chat about. I mean, it was nothing to write home about. The RoMa, on the other hand, which is Aquitaine. Am I saying
Aquitaine?
Yeah,
Aquitaine?
yeah, that's good.
I am thoroughly digging it. It has gotten rid of the film. It is still a free floating, flavor in my mouth. I'm enjoying it deeply. I'm sure. I still like the was it Sabretooth more?
Yeah, Sabretooth.
Was it Sabretooth? Okay.
That's Sabretooth. Yeah, but
yeah, but I assure you, I really wanted this cigar to be at least like an inch and a half longer. So, it's a 4.5. Although I will say, I know this is the Espinosa show. I am looking forward to getting your cigars in our cigar shops, so I can smoke one myself and come back to you later, Hector, and tell you how much I love it because everybody else is really ranting about it. So I'm expecting high thanks.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
and speaking of that, we definitely want you back on, Hector. I mean, even if you're in retirement,
Listen, this is what one of my jobs at Espinosa is this. To not only do we write the message, but to kind of deliver the message and preach the gospel that is Espinosa. And not only Espinosa, but cigar smoking and the culture, and we support our friends in the industry, and our industry friends support us, and this is a great industry to be in. And when I retired from law enforcement, I remember my guys telling me, "Dude, I can't believe you're going to retire." I said, "I'm going to go smoke cigars and wear shorts to work. Don't feel so bad for me, okay?"
Torture all the way.
Don't feel too bad for me, okay? Don't cry for me, Argentina. I'll be fine.
Oh, Vida.
Yeah, I know, right? That's it. That's the life right there. But as we do to all guests, I mean, is there anything that's coming up that you want to, talk about and tell us about?
Well, let's see. We already talked about Chicago. You'll be seeing we got the TAs out of the way. We have a cigar that we release every year called the Six Provinces, which is a tribute to our grandparents and our parents' their Cuban, their Cuban ancestry. Not mine. I was born in New Jersey. I'm an American, and I don't play that I'm a Cuban American or whatever. I'm an American. I served in the military. I was in the Army for 3 years. I worked in law enforcement for 33. This is my country. I'm about this country. I'm an American. But the idea for that cigar was to kind of honor our grandparents and parents who had to sadly leave Cuba because of the revolution and the lies that the revolution brought to that island that has been suffering now for 64 years. Yeah. And, as far as I'm concerned, they can keep suffering. They've done nothing to help themselves. So, why should we? That's just my personal opinion, not that of a station and or its sponsors. And listen, it's we have that cigar coming out that we showed it at the show in July, in June or July, April at the show this year. And we've got a couple of interesting things coming up we have one cigar that I think will be in the consensus this year from all the reviews I've been seeing this year, which is a cigar we do called the Warhead, which is possibly our most popular cigar line. The Warhead has been a monster. This year was the 10th anniversary of Warhead. And we made it in a box that looks like a bomb.
Yeah, the
guys can hang it up
packaging
on
looks
the
awesome.
Yeah,
the
we like
packaging
that.
is just the packaging was awesome. The cigar was incredible. We've got some new stuff coming out for Guy Fieri next year as well. Listen, we're just the machine is just going. Our hardest thing is to keep it in lockstep. To not overdo anything and to not overexpose anything that we do, and to kind of put out the right cigar at the right time. That's kind of what we're doing.
Yeah.
So once this election is done with and people, the country kind of gets back to normal, and and we move on in whatever direction, whoever ends up winning or losing, we can put that behind us and approach the next year with some positivity.
Yep.
There you go. Well, I want to thank you very much for being on the show. It's been a
Sure.
blast having you, sir. We really appreciate you taking your time and doing this with us, even though, I'm glad we missed the Dolphins, because, we want to make sure you saw the Dolphins.
Oh no, I was watching it. I watched it till the very bitter end. I was here watching it off to the left. I was watching it as Arizona drove down the field and kicked the field goal to win the game. Yes, I was here till the bitter end.
But
Well, I'm talking
As
to my
always-
counselor about this.
Yeah, show me on the doll where the man touched you.
What? It was right there. And he
touched
laughed
me
while
here.
he did it.
I wanted him to touch me here, but he touched me here.
oh man! But on that note, I'm going to say
I bet you
goodnight,
Terrence
folks.
wasn't this funny. I bet you
No.
Terrence wasn't this funny.
No, you're absolutely right.
No, you're right. You're right.
We didn't laugh this hard with Terrence. Sorry, Terrence.
No,
Hector
he's a
got
good
you.
guy. He's one of the best, man.
He is a great guy. Great guy.
Yeah.
But
He's
on
awesome.
You
that
definitely
note,
you gotta reach out. I mean, you guys are big RoMa guys. You should reach out to the RoMa guys.
oh
you
yeah,
should
we've
reach
had
out.
both
We've had
Mike and
Phil
Skip on.
Mike and Skip.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. We love those guys.
I could have done a little bit of Skip when he takes off his vest. Well, you just don't know how to smoke. That's the problem with you. Well, you're just an idiot. I mean,
Oh my
and
God.
definitely try to get Justin Andrews on. Justin Andrews is he'll be your kind of guy. He's a good old guy, and just loves cigars and loves talking about cigars, and he's very proud of what they've done with Diesel.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great. And we'll take that note. We'll try to reach out to him and see if we can
Absolutely.
get him on. That'd be great. But I think we're going to shut it down, and I want to say good night.
See ya.
Right.
Hasta luego.